But we have 2 bird flu summits coming up in October. 2 in October. Why is there so many bird flu summits all coming together in October? Very interesting. And so I wanted to make you guys aware of what's going on. So the first one is actually in my old town of Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's at the University of Arkansas. Curious. This is the International Avian Influenza and One Health Emerging Issues Summit. One Health. Always pay attention. Always pay attention to that term. It says the Center of Excellence for Poultry Science at the University of Arkansas is proud to present the International Avian Flu and One Health Emerging Issues Summit. The hybrid event will be hosted in Fayetteville, Arkansas, September 30th through October 3rd. So what is the International Avian Influenza One Health Emerging Summit? Since January of 2022, multiple HPAI viruses have infected tens of millions of wild birds, commercial poultry flocks, and more than 24 species of terrestrial and marine mammals worldwide. This bird flu panzootic has been spread across Africa, Asia, and the Americas, Australia, Europe, and even into Antarctica. That is why we decided to modify the scope of the summit this year. The first day will be to cover the influenza, the avian influenza, and commercial poultry, which talks directly to poultry veterinarians. And so it goes on, it says, this year we are including emerging issues to cover other important economic diseases affecting commercial poultry, swine, cattle, bees, and humans as one health. Great. Some of the topics, if you can go and check out all the topics if you want to, but some that stood out to me: the looming threat of a new influenza pandemic, EU legislation on AI stuff. You can see it there. And participation in a panel discussing the zoning and compartmentalization. There we go. Again, 3 syllables, people. Exploring the potential of artificial intelligence in feed formulation to advance poultry health, and One Health, and an integration of One Health into community development programs. It just keeps on rolling with this bird flu thing. So we got that one, but then there's another one coming out at the same time in Washington, D.C. This one is interesting. This is the International Bird Flu Summit, Washington, D.C., October 2nd through 3rd, with a workshop on the 4th. Yeah, here we go. It says, welcome to the International Bird Flu Summit, where we address the pressing concerns surrounding the recent development in avian influenza with the emergence of a high virulent strain of bird flu affecting both cattle and humans. It is imperative that we come together to discuss preparedness, response strategies, and the future implications of this evolving situation. Topics include, here we go. Keep in mind, this is for birds, cattle, and humans. Topics include mass fatality management planning, surveillance and data management, preparing community strategies, local partnership and participation, delivery of stuff and antiviral medication, medical countermeasures, socioeconomic impact on poultry and livestock industries, benefit risk assessment, public health, industry and regulatory perspectives, prevention, education efforts and risk communication, command, control and management, emergency response management, business-based planning, school-based planning, and community-based planning. Let's take a look at some of their sessions. Mass fatality management planning. Development and maintain plans, procedures, programs, and systems. Develop and implement training and exercise programs. Direct fatality management tactical operations. Activate fatality management operations. Conduct morgue operations. Guys, this isn't about cattle or birds. This is about people. Emergency management services, breakout session number 4 here. Prioritizing antivirals and personal protective equipment for essential workforce. overcoming reduced response capacity and staffing issues, protecting emergency response operation centers, managing supply chain interruptions and establishing stockpiles, handling panic, and maintaining public order. Oh boy, it just keeps going. Section 5, law enforcement agencies, ensuring law enforcement personal health and safety, safeguarding stuff and essential goods delivery, managing surge in crime during pandemic, controlling social unrest and public disorder, implementing isolation measures in correctional facilities. None of this has anything to do with animals. This one, though. Concurrent breakout session number 4, first responders, the fire department, protecting fire department personnel and health safety, transitioning into all hazards incident management responders, conducting mass stuff efforts, enforcing quarantine measures effectively. Man, guys, they're having another meeting about this bird flu stuff, but it's for people. This has nothing to do with animals. Now, they have other sessions for animals, but this stuff is directly for people. Like, what on earth is going on? Last but not least, you can see at the end, they have the lovely picture of a person getting the stuff. Breakout session number 11. Global influenza surveillance networks and delivery of stuff and antiviral medication. Current and emerging approaches in stuff development, advancements in avian influenza stuff strategies, stuff optimization and equitable access, strengthening antiviral medication distribution systems, enhancing global surveillance networks for timely response. And then they have an entire section here, how to improve your risk communication and emergent and community engagement, and how to effectively counter mis and disinformation. All this stuff includes things like restoring trust in health sectors, readiness for testing, improving communication channels, talking about fact-checking and debunking, monitoring and response to misinformation, all of this stuff. Utilizing digital platforms and social media channels. Guys, this is a replay of what they were discussing at Crimson Contagion and Event 201. This is exactly a replay. You can go and look through those documents. It reads exactly the same. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's actually going to happen. I'm not going to, because we don't know. We've seen stuff that they've tested that we for sure thought was going to happen, and it didn't. But they seem to be doing the same exact playbook that they did for the other ones. So I wanted people to be aware of this. My personal opinion, I think this bird flu thing is a giant sham with what they're doing with it. It's a giant sham. But that doesn't mean that they're not using it to move things into place that they need to for upcoming events. Right now, there's so many things that all could pop off all at the same time, literally all at the same time. Whether it's health, war, politics, anything, it can all just go south at the same time. And so, again, this isn't about freaking anybody out. This is about making sure people are aware. Specifically, the bookends of this stuff, the cybercrime treaty and that summit, I think, are things that we need to keep eyes on, because those are extremely important. And they just happen to be cruising under the radar because everybody's looking. Everybody and their mother and their cats are all looking in one area, trying to find the tiniest little detail. And all this stuff's just flying under the radar. To be fair, this UN cybercrime thing has been flying under the radar for several years, and nobody seems to have any idea about what's going on with that.